ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ.
ದಾನವರು ಕಲಿಯುಗದೊಳವತರಿಸಿ ವಿಭುಧರೊಳನ
ಮತವ ನರುಹಲ್ ಅದನರಿತು ಜ್ಞಾನಿತ ಪವಮಾನ ಭೂತಳದೊಳವತರಿಸಿ ಮಾನನಿಧಿ ಮಧ್ವಾಕ್ಯ ನೆಂದೆನಿಸಿದ. With this padya, the extraordinary description of life and history of Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya begins. Madhvacharya is the third avatara or incarnation of Vayu Bhagavan. We have already come across the two incarnations of him, where the first one being Hanumanta Avatara, second being Bhimasena Avatara, and now the third one is Madhva Avatara. You may ask me, does Madhvacharya, whom we say as the incarnation of Vayu Bhagavan, say this himself? No. It is the Veda Ukta Avatara, which means the Veda, the Balita Sukta of the Rig Veda says that Vayu Bhagavan incarnates in Kali Yuga with the name Madhva. And his Swarupa Nirnaya, he himself has expressed in various of his granthas and bhashyas that he had written. Well, if we look at the life and history of Madhvacharya, starting with his birth to his Balya Leela, then to the magnanimous philosopher he is, the majority of the story or the history can be attained from this grantha, Sumadhva Vijaya. This grantha is written by Narayana Panditacharya, son of revered Sri Trivikrama Panditacharya. Sri Trivikrama Panditacharya was a contemporary to Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya. So he belonged to the same time. And his son Narayana Panditacharya has given us this beautiful Grantha Sumadhva Vijaya, which is the major source of the Balya Leela and many more Avatara Karya of Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya. Well, a consolidation of what is in Sumadhva Vijaya, adding to this some of the briefing of Swarupa of Vayu Bhagavan when incarnated as Madhvacharya, which is given by Madhvacharya himself, has been brought together as an amalgam in this part of Madhvacharya's life and history description part, which is the Madhwanama's part of explaining Madhvacharya. Now, this Madhvacharya's avatara, which is the Madhva avatara, starts with one padya. In reaction the artha. In Madhvavatara, there are 7 padyas which describe his splendid character along with his avatara karya. Well, this the first padya of Madhvavatara, which is Danavaru Kaliyugadol Avatarisi, describes the reason behind the incarnation of Vayu Bhagavan in Kali Yuga. We'll split this. Danavaru Kaliyugadol Avatarisi. So we heard until now that in the 28th Dwapara Yuga, Bhimasena was the major destroyer of various asuras. And these Daityas or asuras, they had so much of revenge in their heart for being defeated by Bhimasena. Now these Daityas, they again come in Kali Yuga in order to spread a wrong information on Vedas and Brahma Sutra of Vedavyasa Bhagavan. So in Kali Yuga, there is no incarnation of Bhagavan Vishnu. He is called as Triyuga, and this name which he has got, Triyuga, is because he incarnates only in 3 yuga, namely Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga. He does not incarnate or take an avatara in Kali Yuga. So next time any Baba says that I am God, tell him that no, God doesn't incarnate in Kali Yuga. So with an estimation that Bhagavan Vishnu doesn't incarnate in Kali Yuga, so it will be easy for the Daityas to propagate a wrong information and spread hatred on Bhagavan Vishnu. These Daityas came to Kali Yuga in the form of Brahmanas, and they started to preach or interpret the Vedas and Brahma Sutras of Vedavyasa Bhagavan in a very wrong way. So, Danavaru Kaliyugadal Avatarisi Venana Matava Naruhalu. And the major concept of philosophy that all these Daityas propagated were the concept of Vena. Long back, we all would have heard about this great person Uttanapada, Priyavratan Uttanapada. Uttanapada's son is very famous for his Vishnu Bhakti, Dhruva. In the Vamsha, family lineage of Dhruva, there comes a king called Angaraja, and Angaraja's son is none other than Vena, who was an Asura. This Vena, during that time, after making his father leave the kingdom, he started to rule the kingdom and highly propagate and popularize his philosophy of Aham Brahmasmi. I am God. You all have to pray me. He literally hated Bhagavan Vishnu and he started to popularize this philosophy of his. And once while popularizing, he came to a group of rishis who were discussing the Tattvavada among themselves. There when Vena expressed his view of his philosophy, they cursed him and they destroyed him. And this philosophy of Vena, so saying I am the God and there is no difference between me and God and the entire Jagat, entire world is not real. This concept was first started by Vena, which was then brought in this Kali Yuga by various Daityas who incarnated and they started to popularize it. Venana matava naruhal adanaritu. So Devatas, they watched this happening. All the Sajjanas, they started to deviate from the path of Vedanta. They started to believe they are the God itself. They started to believe that the entire Jagat is an illusion. So seeing this disaster happening, Devatas went and prayed in front of the Supreme Lord Sri Hari. That is when the Supreme Lord, as he doesn't incarnate in Kali Yuga, he orders, he instructs his prime Bhakta, his Supreme Bhakta, Vayu Bhagavan, to incarnate and make these Sajjanas realize again the original meaning of what Vedas is, the original meaning of what Brahma Sutras are. Now Sripadarajaru says the next line, Jnanita Pavamana Bhutaladola Avatarisi. See, the major concept of Vayu Bhagavan incarnating as Madhvacharya is him teaching people, preaching people this correct way of Vedanta, the correct Shastras, right? So how intellectual and intelligent and knowledgeable he should be, and expressing that part of it, here Sripadarajaru has mentioned Jnanita Pavamana. His Jnana, knowledge, is incomparable. He is Vayu Bhagavan in Mula Rupa, Madhvacharya. Vayu Bhagavan is Rujuguna. We call him Rujugana. See, he is one person who with just thinking of what it is will know the real knowledge of it. He really knows the correct knowledge of everything in this universe with just a thought of it. Alochana matradi, with just a thought of it. Such is Vayu Bhagavan's knowledge. Except Bhagavan Vishnu, no other Bhagavan Vishnu, no one can know him completely. He knows everything completely with just a thought of it. Such is Vayu Bhagavan's knowledge. He is the one who is going to be Brahma in the next Kalpa. He is efficient in all Vidyas. He is efficient in Paroksha and Aparoksha Jnana. Shastras say that one Brahma, his lifetime is 100 years. 100 years means 100 Devamana, which is Devata's years. 100 years of Brahma is equal to 432 crore human years. Such is the long period of life of Brahma. Even before 100 Brahma came to the position of Brahma, Vayu Bhagavan has acquired Aparoksha Jnana. So in-depth and inherent is the Jnana of Vayu Bhagavan, who is going to be Brahma in the next Kalpa. He has no concept of Vismriti, forgetting, or knowledge diminishing, no such qualities which will hinder his knowledge. He has such a pure knowledge, just like they say, like Taila Dhareyante Manasu Kodo Hariye. Like Taila Dhare, just like a flow of oil is the knowledge of Vayu Bhagavan. Jnanita Pavamana, such a intelligent, knowledgeable, intellectual Vayu Bhagavan Pavamana Bhutaladol avatarisi, incarnated in Bhuloka during Kali Yuga. And where did he incarnate? In the southwest region of our Bharata Desha, which is popularly known as Parashurama Kshetra, near Rajatapitapura, which is very near to Udupi. Swarana Bhumi named Pajaka Kshetra is the Avatara Sthala of Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya. There were a couple, Madhyageha Bhatta and Vedavati. They are supreme Vaishnavas. They did so much of service to their Kuladeva Ananteshwara. You can find this Kuladeva Ananteshwara in Udupi, Rajatapitapura. Ananteshwara is Rudrantaryami Sri Narasimha. And these couple, Madhyageha Bhattaru and his wife Srimati Vedavati, they did seva for 12 long years, that too for 12 long years doing Payovrata, consuming only milk and nothing else for a long period of time. And after this 12 long years, she was pregnant, and at the time of delivery, a few seconds before delivery, Vayu Bhagavan enters his Garbha, and then the child with 32 Lakshana, the Jivottama, was born from her as Madhvacharya. This part of philosophy gives us the fact that Vayu Bhagavan, when incarnates as Madhvacharya, be it Bhimasena or be it Hanumanta, he does not go through Garbhavasa Dukkha. A child, when in the womb of a mother, it goes through so much of pain and sorrow. We all would have heard about this Garbhavasa Dukkha and its Parihara when we hear the stories of Purana. Right? But Vayu Bhagavan, just like Bhagavan too, they doesn't undergo this Garbhavasa Dukkha. Here our Shastras say, Vedavati was pregnant with a very different Jiva. At the time of delivery, that Jiva was taken out and Vayu Bhagavan then entered the Sharira and the child was born. So the child which was with 32 Lakshana, Jagadguru Madhvacharya, none other than the Jivottama Vayu Bhagavan, incarnated in Pajaka Kshetra as a son to Madhyageha Bhattaru and Vedavati. And this is explained by the words Bhutaladol avatarisi, which is why here Sripadarajaru has put the word avatarisi. It's not a birth, it's an incarnation, has been clearly mentioned by him. Mananidhi Madhvacharya. When the child was born, he was named by his father Vasudeva. Then when the child grew up to get sannyasa ashrama, the sannyasa nama of Madhvacharya was Purna Prajna. Then when he was crowned in the Vedanta Samrajya as the Pitadipati, Madhvacharya was named as Ananda Tirtharu. But he got popularized with the name Madhva, which is the name mentioned in the Vedas. The meaning of the name, we discussed about it in the first or second episode itself when we discussed about what the term Madhva means. So, Madhvakya Nendenisida, with the name Madhva, he got popular and he popularized his own Siddhanta, which is not the Siddhanta that he created, but a Siddhanta that was Sanatana, existing, and he brought to limelight. And because it was completely based on proofs and evidences, which is why Sripadarajaru puts the word Mana Nidhi. The term Mana means proofs and evidences, a solid proof. Nidhi is being in plenty. He who constructed a samrajya of philosophy on plenty of proofs and evidences that no one can shake about, which is why he is called Mana Nidhi. The adjective is given by Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya. The adjective is given by Sripadarajaru to Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya, who has given us the Moksha Sadhana Shastra. Well, the next episode we'll be seeing a few more reasons and a few more interpretations of the reason behind his avatara, and then we will move on to the Balya Leela which he showed to us during his avatara. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.